again to my channel Academia Search. Today we are diving into the profound world of the Mahabharata, one of the greatest epics in human history, where timeless wisdom meets epic storytelling, perfect for every human, especially students, spanning themes of duty, righteousness, and the complexities of human relationships. This timeless narrative reveals the struggles of the Pandavas and the Kauravas and the epic Kurukshetra war. So in this video we are going to explore Sabha Parva, the family tree, Kuru dynasty, the scriptures, Hindu scriptures from where this text is coming from, this epic is coming from. So let's dive into the scriptures first. So to begin with, Hindu scriptures, again, if we see, this is divided into basically two parts, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is heard, and again it refers to the text, and it is considered divinely revealed text, the very foundational of Hindu philosophy and practice. And at this heart of Shruti we see Vedas, and this is the oldest and the most authoritative scriptures guiding rituals, hymns, and deep philosophical inquiry. It is divided into four collections: Rig Veda, Yajurva Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. Then we come directly to Smriti, so which is again, on the other hand, Smriti is again remembered, the meaning is remembered, and it is encompassing a wide range of human compositions, and these include epic narratives like Ramayana and Mahabharata from the Purans. So these are the ethical guidelines and the devotional literature. It is actually the historical records too. So these scriptures, these two scriptures, Shruti and Smriti, are the backbone of Hindu thought, and it captures not only the religious beliefs but also the way of life that has been passed down through generations. So let's Mahabharata is traditionally credited to sage Vyas, who is also known as Ved Vyas. He is also known as Krishna Dopayana Vyas, and he is regarded as one of the seven Chiranjeevis. Chiranjeevis are the immortal beings in Hindu tradition, and he is honored as a great sage and compiler of Vedas. Vyasa is believed to have initially composed this epic as an oral narrative, which was later transcribed. And over the centuries, Mahabharata has evolved, incorporating various additions and revisions by different scholars and poets. So the version we have today represents a blend of Vyasa's original work and the contribution of numerous other writers and narrators throughout history. Ganesha is traditionally credited with writing down the Mahabharata as Vyas narrated it, and according to this legend, when Vyas composed the epic, he needed the one who could write it down without interruption. So Ganesha agreed to take this task with the condition that Vyas would recite without a pause. So this collaboration is seen as a divine partnership between the sage and the deity, relating and resulting in the creation of one of the greatest epics in Indian literature. So Ganesha is often invoked at the beginning of any new venture or undertaking, making his role important. Especially for the Mahabharata, his role is very significant. Move on to the text Mahabharata. Now this text is divided into different books. So I have listed all these. To begin with is the Adi Parv, the book of beginning, and it is introducing the Kuru dynasty, the birth of key characters, and the early events leading to the Great War. Then comes the Sabha Parv, the book of assembly hall, and today we'll be discussing on Sabha Parv and what are the segments of Sabha Parv in detail. And it is actually providing the details of Rajasuya sacrifice performed by Yudhishthir and the infamous game of dice we find in Sabha Parv itself. Next is One Parv, the Book of Forest, and it is narrating the Pandavas' exile in the forest and their adventures during that period. Now is Virat Parv, the book of Virat is actually describing the year of incognito that the Pandavas are spending in the kingdom of Virat. Then is Udyog Parv, which is again the book of effort. It focuses on the diplomatic efforts and the preparations for war between Kauravas and Pandavas. Next we see is Bhisma Parv, that is the book of Bhisma, that is covering the beginning of the Kurukshetra war and the teachings of Bhisma to Yudhishthir. Then is Dron Parv, we see the book of Drona, and it provides the details of the continuation of war, that is focusing on the role of Dronacharya, the teacher of both Kauravas and Pandavas. Then comes Karna Parv, the book of Karn. It is highlighting the exploits of Karn during the war and his tragic fate. Shaila Parv, again this book of Shaila is describing the continuation of the war and Shaila's role as a commander of the Kauravas army. Saktika Parv, the book of sleeping warriors, narrates the events of the night after the war and the Aswathama's vengeance we see in this Parv. Stree Parv, the book of women, it is focusing on the aftermath of the war, highlighting the grief and suffering of the women. Shanti Parv, the book of peace, is the 12th book of the Mahabharata, and it is dealing primarily with the aftermath of the Kurukshetra war and the quest for peace and dharma in his kingdom. Anushasan Parv, that is the book of instructions, this is featuring Bhisma's teaching on governance and dharma while he was lying down on the bed of arrows. Now we have Aswamedhika Parv, the book of horse sacrifice, and it is describing Yudhishthir's horse sacrifice and the political maneuvering thereafter. Then we have the Ashram Vasika Parv, the book of hermitage, which is actually narrating the later life of the Pandavas and the arrival of their sons. Next we have Mausala Parv, the book of clubs, and it is the 16th book of the Mahabharata. It is primarily narrating the events following the great Kurukshetra war. Particularly it is focusing on the demise of the Yadav clan to which Lord Krishna belongs. Mahaprasthanic Parv, the book of great journey, it is the 17th book of Mahabharata, and this Parv describes the final journey of the Pandavas and their quest for spiritual liberation. Swargarohana Parv, the book of ascent to heaven, this is again describing the Pandavas' journey to the mountains and their ascent to heaven. Again, we have a small section of Anugita. This section contains the philosophical teachings similar to Bhagavad Gita. Again, we have Hari Vamsa Parv, the book of genealogy of Hari, and sometimes it is considered as the appendix to the Mahabharata. It is dealing with the life of Lord Krishna, and each Parv we see that it is contributing to the epic's rich narrative, exploring themes of righteousness and complexities of human relationship. Now the book of Assembly Hall, the Sabha Parv. In Mahabharata Volume 2, translated by J.A.B. Van Butten, the Sabha Parv, the book of Assembly Hall, is divided into significant episodes that is building the narrative of power, diplomacy and the pivotal events of the dicing match, the dicing game. So here is the breakdown. To begin with, the building of the assembly hall. Now this section is describing the magnificent hall by the Pandavas, the construction of the magnificent hall. And what is this magnificent hall? The Indraprasth. It is built under the guidance of the divine architect Maya. And this hall represents the growing power of the Pandavas, and it is setting the stage for the interaction with the other kings. Next we have the Hall of World Guardians, and the assembly halls of the great rulers and deities are described here, and it is symbolizing the cosmic and earthly power structures. But Yudhishthir's Indraprasth and the other kingdoms are compared, and it is highlighting the grandeur of Yudhishthir's Indraprasth. Next we have is the council. Now here various discussions and decisions regarding the future course of action are taking place, and that is involving Pandavas and their allies. Next segment is the king of Jarasandh, and Bhim with the help of Krishna and Arjun defeats the mighty king Jarasandh of Magad. Now his death is very crucial for the Pandavas' effort to secure allies for Yudhishthir's Rajasuya sacrifice. Next we have is the royal consecration, and this section is dealing Yudhishthir's Rajasuya sacrifice, a very important event symbolizing his sovereignty over the world. We have next is the taking of the guest gift. Now Krishna takes the honor of receiving the first offering of the Rajasuya Yag, and this leads to tension with Sisupal, significant conflict that is escalating very quickly. So here we see the slaying of Sisupal in the next segment. Krishna is beheading Sisupal when he is crossing the line after 100 crimes. He told that his 100 flaws or the crime committed by him will be kind of forgiven, but after that he will be not sparing him. So it is demonstrating Krishna's divine authority. Next, our own dicing game is coming, and this chapter is introducing the fateful game of dice between Yudhishthir and Duryodhan, where Yudhishthir is tricked into staking and losing everything, including his kingdom, wealth, and even his brothers and wife, Draupadi. Next, we have the sequel of the dicing, where we see the disastrous outcome of this dicing game. Draupadi is humiliated in court, but she is managing to evoke divine interruption and intervention here. And Pandavas, although freed from slavery, are eventually exiled due to the second dice game for 12 years and 1 year incognito. So this division of Sabha Parv is highlighting the progression of events that is leading from Yudhishthir's rise to power to the eventual fall of the Pandavas. And because why this is happening? Because of the deceit and the fate. So the dicing game is very important, particularly because it is setting the stage for the larger conflict in the Mahabharata, that is again leading to Kurukshetra war. So you'll understand the Kuru dynasty. So the son of King Kuru, King Santanu, is becoming the king of Hastinapur, and his marriage and offsprings are shaping the story. So with the first wife we see Bhisma. The first wife is Ganga. Bhisma is vowing celibacy and becoming the central figure, one of the key figures in Mahabharata. And with the second wife, Satyavati, we see Vichitraveer and Chitrangad, two sons. Chitrangad, though he is chivalrous, he is dying young, and Vichitraveer is also dying young, leaving no heirs. So Satyavati is trying to ensure that the lineage of this kingdom goes on, and he is calling his own son Vyas to father children through Vichitravir's widows Ambalika and Ambika. By Ambika, Dhritarashtra is born, and by Ambalika, Pandu is born. And one another son is born through Vyas and maidservant named Panchali. It's not the Panchali with, not to be confused with Draupadi. And Vidur is born from this maidservant Panchali and Vyas. Now Dhritarashtra is having 100 sons, including Duryodhan and Dusasan, and one daughter Dusala. And Pandu is having 5 sons, that is Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhim, Arjun. These are the 5 sons of Pandu, King Pandu. So we have the basic conflict, the foundational conflict is between Kauravas, these 100 sons known as Kauravas, and these 5 sons known as Pandavas. So the conflict is between these two cousins, Pandavas and Kauravas, and it is leading to the epic Kurukshetra war. And this war is exploring themes of dharma, duty and righteousness, morality, and the consequence of ambition and conflict. So Mahabharata is known also as Mahabharata, is one of the 2 major Sanskrit epics of ancient India, the other being the Ramayana. It is, as we have seen, composed by sage Vyas, and it is a vast narrative, not only exploring the conflict between the 2 groups of cousin, Pandavas and the Kauravas, but it is also trying to question the existential questions, moral questions, philosophical questions. And this text is consisting of over 1 lakh verses, making it one of the longest epic poems in the world. So the game of dicing in the Mahabharata is one of the significant and dramatic episodes, and it sets the stage for the eventual conflict between these 2 groups, Pandavas and Kauravas. And this event, which unfolds in the Sabha Parva, the Book of Assembly Hall, is marking the point that there is no returning back in the family relations, leading directly to the Kurukshetra war. The sequel of dicing, as we see, is setting the second stage of the dice game, and it is intensifying Pandava's downfall. In this video, we have explored the Sabha Parva, the second book of the Mahabharata, which deals with the key characters in the Kuru dynasty. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown of Sabha Parva interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more content. And let me know your thoughts or favorite moments in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll be discussing the game of dicing and its tragic sequel in the next video. Till then, happy learning all.